Welcome, adventurers! Today we're diving deep into the world's most mysterious and forbidden places, spots that, for one reason or another, you are absolutely not allowed to visit. From places of historical and cultural significance to locations that pose extreme danger, we're about to uncover 15 forbidden places you're not allowed to visit. Get ready, because some of these places are not only breathtaking but also shrouded in secrecy. Let's get started. Number 15. Maya Bay, Thailand. We kick things off with Maya Bay, located on the Koh Phi Phi La Island in Thailand. If this place looks familiar, that's because it became globally famous as the filming location for The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. The bay's picturesque white sands and crystal-clear waters attracted over 1 million tourists annually, with 80% being foreign visitors. However, the natural beauty of Maya Bay started to deteriorate under the weight of tourism. The coral reefs were badly damaged, and the ecosystem was suffering. The Thai government had no choice but to close the bay to visitors in 2019. But don't lose hope just yet. There are ongoing efforts to restore the bay's coral and clean up the area, with the goal of eventually reopening it. For now, the only way to admire Maya Bay is from afar. Number 14. Losco Caves, France. In September 1940, a young man walking his dog stumbled upon the Losco Caves in France, near the town of Montignac. What they discovered wasn't just any cave, but one of the most important archaeological sites in history. These caves contain more than 600 prehistoric paintings, some dating back 17,000 years, depicting animals, plant species, and mysterious symbols. The cave paintings are extraordinary, but they're also incredibly fragile. By 1948, the caves were open to the public, but the carbon dioxide, heat, and humidity caused by visitors began to seriously deteriorate the artwork. By 1963, the French government closed the caves to everyone except a select group of researchers to prevent further damage. If you want to experience the awe of the Losco Caves, you can explore virtual reality replicas and models of the caves that have been created to share this treasure with the world, without causing harm. Number 13. Morgan Island, United States. Next up, we head to Morgan Island off the coast of South Carolina, USA. Also known as Monkey Island, this place has been off-limits to the public since 1979. What's so special about Morgan Island? It's home to a colony of free-ranging rhesus monkeys, originally relocated from Puerto Rico. Due to concerns about disease transmission, particularly herpes virus B, it's deemed too dangerous for humans to visit. These monkeys live in a semi-tropical forest, and to keep both the monkeys and people safe, researchers have set up an automated feeding system, keeping human contact to a minimum. Only a few researchers are ever allowed on the island, and even they must follow strict quarantine procedures when they leave. Morgan Island remains a mysterious, isolated haven for these monkeys, and it's not a place you'll be allowed to step foot on anytime soon. Number 12. Grand Shrine of Ise, Japan. Japan is home to thousands of Shinto shrines, each with its own unique history. But none are as revered or off-limits as the Grand Shrine of Ise, which honors Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. This sacred site, built over 2,000 years ago, holds immense spiritual importance in Japanese culture. Amazingly, the shrine is rebuilt every 20 years in accordance with the Shinto belief in death and rebirth, and the last rebuild was completed in 2013. But here's the kicker: unless you're a priest or a member of the imperial family, you'll never be allowed inside. The general public can only admire the shrine from outside the wooden fences, though the surrounding grounds and forests are open to explore. Number 11. Cery, Australia. Our next stop is Cery, also known as Ayers Rock, in Australia. This massive sandstone monolith is one of the country's most iconic natural landmarks and holds deep spiritual significance for the Anangu people, the indigenous custodians of the land. For decades, tourists flocked to climb Uluru, but that ended in 2019 when a ban was put in place. The damage caused by tourists over the years had become too great, not just to the rock itself but also to the cultural sanctity of the site. Disrespectful acts, such as drinking alcohol and taking inappropriate photos, led to the decision to close it permanently to climbers. However, you can still visit the area surrounding Uluru and witness its breathtaking beauty from the ground. But if you want to snap a photo, be mindful, certain angles are restricted in accordance with traditional beliefs. Number 10. North Sentinel Island, Bay of Bengal. Off the coast of India, nestled in the Andaman Islands, lies North Sentinel Island, a place that's not only forbidden but dangerous. Home to the Sentinelese, one of the world's last uncontacted tribes, the island is fiercely protected, both by the people who live there and the Indian government. The Sentinelese have made it clear they want nothing to do with the outside world. In fact, when two fishermen accidentally landed on the island in 2006, they were swiftly killed. The same fate befell an American missionary who tried to make contact in 2018. To prevent further incidents, the government has imposed a 5-mile exclusion zone around the island, patrolled by the Indian Navy. This ensures the Sentinelese can live their lives undisturbed, maintaining their isolation from modern civilization. Number 9. Mezger Russia. In the heart of the southern Ural Mountains lies Mezger, a town in Russia that's completely off-limits to outsiders. It's believed to be home to some of Russia's most secret military projects. Founded in 1979, Mezger houses around 16,000 residents, all of whom are employees or families of government officials working on top-secret missions. One of the town's most well-known roles was safeguarding Russia's nuclear warheads during the Cold War, but today, rumors abound that Mezger is part of Dead Hand, an automated system designed to launch a retaliatory nuclear strike if Russia were ever attacked. The tight security surrounding the town only adds to the mystery. If you get too close, you'll likely be met with armed guards, ensuring that whatever happens in Mezger stays there. Number 8. Snake Island, Brazil. Traveling to Ilha de Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island off the coast of Brazil, is probably the last thing you'd want to do. This island is home to the golden lancehead viper, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. In fact, there are up to 5 snakes per square meter on the island. The venom of the golden lancehead is potent enough to melt human flesh, and while there are no confirmed cases of human fatalities, the Brazilian government has strictly forbidden anyone from visiting the island, except for authorized researchers. The snakes have evolved to become highly efficient hunters, given the island's isolated environment. Number 7. Pollia, Italy. The Venetian lagoon is home to many beautiful islands, but Pollia is far from welcoming. This small island has a dark history, having been used as a plague quarantine station in the 18th century and later as a mental asylum. Thousands of people died here, and rumors of hauntings have given Pollia the reputation of being the most haunted place on Earth. While the island has been abandoned for decades, authorities strictly enforce the ban on visiting it. And it's not just because of ghosts. There are real concerns that diseases still lurk in the soil. Number 6. Pluto's Gate, Turkey. Pluto's Gate in Turkey, also known as the Plutonium, was a religious site in ancient times dedicated to Pluto, the god of the underworld. Located in Hierapolis, this cave emits dangerous levels of carbon dioxide. Ancient priests would perform rituals at the cave, sending animals inside to show their devotion, animals that quickly succumbed to the toxic gases. Scientists recently confirmed that the gases emitted from the cave are real and just as deadly today. As a result, visitors are not allowed to approach Pluto's Gate, making it a fascinating yet dangerous location that remains off-limits. Number 5. Heard Island, Australia. Located far off the coast of Australia, Heard Island is one of the most remote places on Earth. The island is home to Australia's only active volcanoes and is covered in glaciers. It's also home to a number of unique plant and animal species. However, due to the island's fragile ecosystem and extreme weather conditions, the Australian government forbids access to the island. In fact, more missions have been sent to the moon than to Heard Island, making it one of the least explored places on the planet. Number 4. Cery Island, Iceland. In 1963, a volcanic eruption in the North Atlantic Ocean gave birth to a brand new island, Cery. Over the next few years, this island would become the site of a unique scientific experiment. Researchers are studying how life develops on newly formed land, and to ensure that their work remains uncontaminated, only authorized scientists are allowed to visit. Cery is expected to erode back into the sea in about 100 years, but until then, it remains one of the world's most restricted places. Number 3. Pravsika Brana, Czech Republic. The Pravsika Brana in the Czech Republic is the largest natural sandstone arch in Europe. It was once a popular tourist destination, but over time, it began to erode due to the constant foot traffic. To preserve this stunning natural formation, authorities banned visitors from walking across it in 1982. While you can still view the arch from a distance, no one is allowed to walk on it anymore in order to protect it from further damage. Number 2. Niu United States. Known as the Forbidden Island, Niu is part of the Hawaiian Islands and is privately owned by the Robinson family. Purchased in 1864, Niu remains largely off-limits to the public. The only people allowed on the island are invited guests and U.S. military personnel. Its population of about 170 residents is entirely self-sufficient, with no outside influences allowed. The Robinson family has kept the island closed to maintain the traditional Hawaiian way of life, and they only allow helicopter tours to see the island from a distance. Number 1. HAR Reef Australia. Last but not least, we visit HAR Reef in the Great Barrier Reef. This naturally heart-shaped coral formation is one of Australia's most famous and photographed landmarks. But to protect it from damage, visitors are no longer allowed to snorkel or dive near HAR Reef. The only way to see this beautiful formation now is by helicopter or airplane tour, ensuring that it remains intact for future generations. And there you have it, 15 forbidden places you'll never be allowed to visit, no matter how much you want to. These mysterious and dangerous spots may be off-limits, but they're all the more intriguing because of it. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more explorations into the world's most fascinating places. See you next time, adventurers!